This is CMN, a cage match news update.
Hello, this is Asylum Burgundy at the Al Davis News Desk for your cage match news update. I don't know how to feel about this one. Of course, we lost again. What else is new? And the Raiders couldn't tackle. Yup, seems about right. But there were some wins in this game. Well, for starters, right now we currently hold the second pick. Another small victory. We finally got to see a different quarterback other than Geno Smith. Look at that beautiful pass. Perfection. And this could be considered a victory for some, as this set of crazy events, including this delay of game penalty on Denver, resulted in a meaningless field goal to cover the 7.5 spread. Other people were very skeptical on Pete Carroll's decision.
That's the worst beat of all time. You have to investigate the Raiders. Investigate the Raiders. What are they doing? What the fuck? That's the worst beat of all time. That is cheating. Pete Carroll should be in fucking prison. Prison for Pete Carroll. Prison. The spread's 8.5. They spiked the ball, by the way. They ran up and spiked it as a tempo. Prison Pete Carroll. Murder Pete Carroll. I want Pete Carroll murdered. They call a delay a game with 4 seconds. The game was over. The game was over. What the hell? And then they run out the field goal unit, kick a field goal with no time left. Prison!
That's why gambling is bad, and I don't condone the practice of, what's that? Wah! Nothing to see here. Don't bring out my winnings while I'm doing a PSA on gambling. Now I look like a jackass. Haha, sorry, that was my accountant bringing me my Christmas bonus. Let's move on and forget about it. Let's make sure Geno is ready for this shade. Okay, how did Kenny Pickett finally get playing time over Geno Smith? Well, it was this hit that injured his shoulder and took him out the game. But the injury we saw happened a drive earlier. It happened on a sack, and it's ironic this injury that caused him the most discomfort was to his fingers. On the following home game after this finger, karma! Do you know what the current record of the Kansas City Chiefs are now?
6-7! Oh my god! So fucking funny!
Nothing gets my chestnuts roasting than to see the Chiefs implode in December. But also to see Rashi Rice in a high-speed collision. If you know, you know. Karma! We never forgot when Derek Carr was having an MVP season in 2016, but then broke his leg against the Colts from a sack and killing our Christmas. Well, 10 seasons later, the Colts were riding high with their quarterback Daniel Jones until he suffered an apparent non-contact Achilles injury which killed their playoff hopes in the month of Christmas. Karma! The Colts did in fact call Derek Carr to come out of retirement to step in, which he declined. But then they turned to an old favorite in 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, who retired 5 years ago. Of course, we have the exclusive footage of his workout.
On the count of 3. 3. Let's rock.
That's it for me. I need to go Christmas shopping. Hey, where did that girl go with my money? I have bets to make.